Hi, my name is Claudia Skula and I'm a PhD student at UCL in London. And in this video, I would like to demonstrate the prototype of a decentralized common data environment, which then I would like to ask you to evaluate. First, I would like to start with explaining the current status of adoption of common data environment in practice, which I identified during the first stages of my research. After talking with industry experts, I found out that the idea of CDE as a single source of truth for all project information is rarely implemented in practice, as more commonly there are multiple CDE tools used simultaneously in each of the lifecycle phases. So, for example, during the design phase, tools like BIM 360, BIM Collab, Aconex, or Viewpoint for projects are used, as well as simple cloud-based storages like Dropbox or Google Drive. During the construction phase, it's similar, so similar tools are used or additional ones like Slack. Apart of that, also emails are in common use. And during the later stages, the handover data is collected through tools like Springboard to transfer the data to KFM systems and CMMS system used in the operation and maintenance phase. Using the multiple tools that are not integrated with each other leads to massive problems with data integrity, lack of traceability, and transparency of construction projects. During the design phase, data is circulating through different approval and sign-off processes, which means that it takes time before the newest data will be approved and available to other stakeholders, which also leads to the problem that some of the subcontractors might use outdated data which is not approved yet. Phase, common data environments are usually established and managed by general contractors, which are used to exchange drawings and other documents between the stakeholders. But in case something happens to the general contractor company, such as it can go bankrupt, the common data environment is suspended and there is a lack of access to the data. The operation maintenance phase is the longest from all of the phases, as it can reach even up to 50 years. So it can easily happen that the facility manager company is changing during those years, and the systems like KFM tools that they are using are also changed. And in this case, all of the data must be transferred from one route to the other, which can also cause missing information and lack of access to the previous information that are needed. To sum up, using current common data environment solutions leads to several problems, such as lack of traceability and transparency of construction project transactions. Also, the centralization of data in hand of one entity is a big issue, as CDEs are usually not tamper-proof, except of some exceptions. And in general, cloud-based solutions are characterized by low security. To solve these problems, we propose to use blockchain technology as underlying solution for CDEs. In simple words, blockchain is a distributed ledger technology, which can be defined as database of transactions which are stored in the network on multiple nodes simultaneously without the need of a third party controlling the network, which makes it decentralized but also immutable and very secure. Regarding construction projects, blockchain has several advantages, such as decentralization, providing equal rights for all of the stakeholders, but also transparency, which can help to avoid disputes and reduce number of claims, traceability, as it provides immutable record of transactions, and high security, which can help protect data ownership. In the next slides, I will explain shortly system proposal that we developed for CDE integration. We do not propose to replace all of the currently used CDEs with another tool, but we rather propose to integrate them using blockchain technology. And this would be done by recording the transactions between and inside of the different CDEs by using smart contracts, which are computer codes that can communicate with the APIs of each of the CDEs. Smart contracts can not only record the transactions, but also validate if they were not manipulated or tampered with. And additionally, as the data would be still saved on the clouds of each of the tools, we propose the use of interplanetary file system, which is a distributed storage, similar to blockchain or something between blockchain and cloud, which is more secure as it is decentralized. However, as a future direction of our study, we propose to replace the cloud databases completely with IPFS system, which would be more secure and would provide more distributed environment to construction data management. And now we will move to the dashboard prototype, which is online and can be accessed by this link. The first page of the tool is the sign-in page, where we have to put our credentials such as username and password to sign into our project. And the first welcoming page is containing all of the basic information about our project, such as the user information, the verification status, which is saying if blockchain detected any conflicts or any manipulation or tampering with data, some basic information about the storage used, and of course, the list of all of the transactions happening in the project. So we can extend the list of transactions to have it in a full view. The table here is containing all of the transactions happening between the different tools. So, for example, we have something from Aconex on SharePoint, BIM 360, but also emails. And we can see which type of data and which type of content each of the transactions is including. And we also see which users were involved in this transaction. And the different types include not only the files, but also things like requests for information or emails and change orders. And the table is fully customizable, so we can change how it looks, what it contains, what's the order of columns, and so on. But we can also easily search for different information and add different kind of filters. So for example, we can just filter data from BIM 360. We can also add another filter, such as just seeing the RFIs. And we can also clear it to go back to the general view. If we click on each of the transactions, it will extend and show us the previous transaction concerning this file or the contents. So we can see that the file was before signed off and submitted and revised. If we want to see the full history, we can click on this button, or also here on the left in the menu, there is the file history. The file history is showing a list of transactions concerning only one work package. So in this case, we see everything that is connected to facade. So all of the files concerning the facade during the different lifecycle phases or the previous months are displayed in here. We can also click on each of the transactions to see more information about it. So we see a small preview and then basic information. What was the change about? So for example, if you're updating the thickness of horizontal bars in the curtain wall, we see some information about the file, like the state, the status, revision, number of the file, who created it, and who has access to it. We can also open the source file, which would be in this case from Aconex, and we can go to preview to see the preview of the file directly in the tool. Again, we see some basic information, and the file audit shows a previous version and what happened to the file. The other option to see the file history is to switch the view to the timeline view, which is showing in a more graphical way how the data flow was circulating between each of the stakeholders. So if we hover over each of the points, we can see what the file was about, if it was submission, or what type of transaction it was. So we see that it was, for example, here, it was viewed before it was signed off by the project manager, and then it was like submitted, viewed, and so on. So again, we see all of the types of the files, which are all concerning the facade development. And we can go back in time as much as we want, or we can also filter the information using the different filters here. The next tab is just basic information about blockchain, as each of the transactions has a special number, which is called a hash, which is unique for each of the transactions. Each of the user also have a public key, which is a hash number, and the transactions are grouped into blocks which have another number or another hash of the block. The last tab is showing a basic view similar to tools like SharePoint or Google Drive, where we can see the structure of all of the files, and we can browse the files manually. And that's it for what the tool can do, and you're welcome to test it by yourself. Just please use the link in the survey and have a little playing around with it to see what are the different options. Thank you very much for watching, and please to complete the survey. And if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to contact me using my email. Thank you.